Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to the Cricket Happening show. A bit late in the day, I would say, at late at night here. And today the hosts India were humbled by West Indies today as India lost the second semi-final in the T20 World Cup. So the hosts India are out of the tournament as it was West Indies who sent India crashing out of the tournament when West Indies actually won the match by 7 wickets. And it was a match full of runs. There were a lot of runs to be scored. India scored 192. In fact, the match was in the balance right up till the final over, but there was one man who totally changed everything, and he was none other than Lendl Simmons. As you would remember, Lendl Simmons was not even a part of the West Indies team, and just because Andre Fletcher, we call this blessing in disguise, as Andre Fletcher could not be played. I mean, Andre Fletcher was out of the tournament. Lendl Simmons, just 2 days back, he landed in Mumbai, and as Lendl Simmons said, he has played for the IPL and he has represented Mumbai Indians, and he knew this Wankhede Stadium pitch absolutely, out of his hand. In the sense, the back of the hand, he knows this particular pitch at the Wankhede Stadium, and that's what he mentioned. What an innings he played! He played a gem of an innings of an unbeaten 82 of 51 deliveries with 7 fours and 5 sixes smoked with alacrity, and that was what West Indies was, and he was the man who pivoted this West Indies team into the finals of the T20 World Cup. And this is the second time that the West Indies have arrived at the T20 World Cup finals. The first time they won it, this is the second time it's happening, and what a disappointment to scores of cricket fans as far as India were concerned. India, being the hosts of the tournament today, were humbled by the West Indies by 7 wickets. So one thing is that West Indies definitely lost to Afghanistan, but that was probably just a blip. Probably they had taken it a bit easy, and here it was the Indians were humbled. The host Indians were put out of the tournament by the West Indies, and congratulations to West Indies for reaching the finals of the T20 World Cup, where they will be pitted against England on Sunday at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. And what a contest that is going to be. Well, but let me just talk about this. Talk about the things that happened at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. So T20 World Cup This was second semi-finals between West Indies and India. West Indies captain. It was West Indies captain. He was Darren Sammy, who actually won the toss, and he decided that he will insert India into bat. Well, India started off quietly. The first over, they were very watchful. West Indies continued to have their spin bowler Samuel Badri into the firing line right at the start. And today, India actually got 2 players in the mix. They brought Ajinkya Rahane to open the innings. Shikhar Dhawan was dropped, and they also made way for Manish Pandey. Now, Manish Pandey, I'm just trying to see. In fact, Manish Pandey came into the team, so it was. So basically, there were 2 changes that were being made, whereby they brought Manish Pandey into the team because Yuvraj Singh was not there. And it all started. Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane quietly first facing themselves, but we definitely saw once they assessed the pitch that this ball was really coming. And Rohit Sharma, both are homegrown boys, Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane, opening the Indian innings, and they basically know the pitch very well. They have played all their schoolboy cricket in this particular ground, and once they saw that the ball was really nicely coming onto the bat, they slowly started unveiling their strokes. And once it started, Ajinkya Rahane, I'm sorry, dear fans, I have a bit of a throat problem, but as you know, cricket is very dear to me, so that's the reason I'm out here. So Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane started off in a nice vein by creaming some boundaries, and slowly they gathered momentum as the innings really started getting into high gear. When these two blokes, Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane, had put on 62 runs for the first wicket, with the aggressor being Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rahane playing the sedate role, the person who was just sticking to the wicket, but he was taking his singles, which was very good, and he was giving the strike to Rohit Sharma. But then finally, West Indies got their reward. It was Samuel Badri who actually removed Rohit Sharma LBW not before making a well-made 43 of 31 deliveries with 3 fours and 3 sixes. So that score read 62 for 1. Ajinkya Rahane was at the crease. Virat Kohli entered the scene. And once Virat Kohli enters, we all know, and Virat Kohli, once again, what an innings he played. But as I said, his innings was totally overshadowed by Lendl Simmons' batting. But Virat Kohli definitely saw that the runs were easy to come by on this pitch, and we definitely saw all those strokes that Virat Kohli of squeezing the Yorkers through the offside into the fence, putting the balls from the offside onto the onside by maneuvering the ball beautifully through the gaps. And Ajinkya Rahane, as I said, was the most sedate partner. And this partnership started blossoming, with Virat Kohli taking the brunt of it, as he was the one who was the prime scorer, and Ajinkya Rahane's role was to stay at the wicket. And finally, we saw that we saw that all these bowlers were bowling, but again, runs were coming by. There was no doubt about it. But Virat Kohli was playing very well. But once the partnership reached, they added around 64 odd runs. And that was the time the second wicket fell for India, and that was in the 16th over, with Ajinkya Rahane trying to force the pace. Was a victim of the bowling of Russell for 35 balls with 2 fours. Dhoni came in, and Dhoni hit an unbeaten 15 of 9 balls, but it was Virat Kohli who was stroking the ball sweetly and smoothly, as the runs were just cascading from Virat Kohli's blade, and Virat Kohli had played a wonderful innings. And when India finished off on a real high, one could say, but one probably thought India could have made another 20-25 runs, which would have really made this a great contest. But in the end, it was India finishing at 192 for 2. There was a huge crowd there at the Wankhede Stadium to watch the match, because they know India was just one step away to the finals. Virat Kohli, what an innings he played. Not out on 89 of 47 deliveries with 11 fours and 1 6. Dhoni remained not out on 15 of 9 balls with 1 4. India piled up 192 for 2 of 20 overs, going at a clip of 9.60 runs per over. The bowling, Andre Russell 4 overs, 1 for 47. Badri bowled beautifully, 4 overs, 1 for 26. Brathwaite bowled 4 overs for 38. Suleiman Ben, the left-arm spinner, bowling 4 overs for 36, and Dwayne Bravo was Russell was the costliest, and 4 overs 44. So now it was the turn for West Indies to bat and chase this total that India had put on the board. Well, all eyes were on Chris Gayle. There was no doubt about it. One was really waiting for some real Gayle shots to come up, but it was Jasprit Bumrah who provided the huge breakthrough for India right up in the second over, when he actually had Gayle after hitting a 4. Gayle was I would say caught napping, in the sense he could not actually read a Yorker he could not keep a Yorker from Bumrah. Bumrah from hitting the timber, and that was all over. So Chris Gayle, that was a big wicket for India, and the Indians were absolutely delighted. So Chris Gayle was gone, bowled Bumrah for 5, so that was wicket number 1. After that, we saw Ajinkya Rahane, it was Samuels who was there. He was also dismissed by the other opening bowler, Ashish Nehra, who actually had Marlon Samuels caught for 8 of 7 balls with 2 fours. And now the score read 19 for 2, and West Indies were in some spot of bother at that time. Now, Johnson Charles was there. Johnson Charles was stroking the ball well. He was also, once Lendl, and that was the time Lendl Simmons entered. 19 for 2. Lendl Simmons flown into Mumbai last 2 days back just because Andre Fletcher was injured, and Lendl Simmons joined in. And from then on, from 19 for 2, what one saw from the West Indies was a really sort of a methodical approach. What the good thing about what West Indies was doing was both Johnson Charles, who was a bit sedate at that particular time, definitely exploded into action in the company of Lendl Simmons, and the partnership also started blossoming as runs started coming, and it was a very, very clinical approach, I would say, because what Johnson Charles and Lendl Simmons were doing is they made sure that they scored one boundary in every over, going from the third over on to the 14th over. So they made sure that every time, in every over, they scored a single boundary, and that was really good to see. So that's the reason I said they had a sort of a methodical approach, they had sort of a clinical approach to things, and which really paid in the end. And finally, we saw Charles and Simmons were really, really hurting the Indian bowlers, and they had taken the score on to 116. So it was a nice 97-run partnership which was going on, and Simmons was looking pretty sharp in his strokes. As I said, he's the one who has played for Mumbai Indians in the IPL. He knows this pitch very well, and we saw Lendl Simmons playing some beautiful strokes. I mean, you won't say it was a lot of power. It was all about some perfect timing from Lendl Simmons, and he was also hitting sixes with effortless ease. And at the other end, we saw Johnson Charles going well, and Dhoni decided that he would actually, after seeing that Ravichandran Ashwin was taken for runs in his 2 overs, Hardik Pandya was hit for runs, he decided that he would give a trundle to Virat Kohli. And with the very first ball, Virat Kohli struck by breaking this stand of 97 runs, which was going on between Johnson, Charles, and Simmons. And there was a huge roar in the stadium because Virat Kohli, with his first ball struck. And let me tell you, that was not a good ball from Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli actually bowled a long hop, and Charles tried to cream it. But Charles, I thought he did a very good job for the West Indies here by contributing 52 runs of 36 balls with 7 fours and 2 sixes. And we saw Lendl Simmons was there. And the run rate for the West Indies was really spiraling. At the 14th over, when Charles departed, the West Indies score at 116. So basically, if you look at it, they still had a sort of a mountain to climb, because there was 76 runs more to be done, and the work was not over. And Lendl Simmons had to make sure that he stayed at the crease, and he was joined in by another hard-hitting all-rounder. Andre Russell was sent ahead of Ramadan and Dwayne Bravo, and Andre Russell came in, and once he came in, well, the run rate, as I said, it was a good ploy, I thought, of promoting Andre Russell in the batting order, because they needed at a clip of, if you look at in the 14th over, they had 116. So if you look at it, 76 runs were required in the balance 6 overs, and in 6 overs, 90. I mean, it's almost like they required 76. So you can just make the max there. I mean, it was almost over 12 runs per over that they required runs. And with the 12 runs required, Andre Russell, promoted in the batting order, really came up very successfully, as Andre Russell went on to spank the Indian bowlers to all parts of the park by hitting a quick fire 43 of 20 balls with 3 fours and 4 sixes. But the penultimate over that Jasprit Bumrah bowled was on the money. He was bowling a lot of Yorkers, was keeping things tight. But Andre Russell, he's the one who really was unwinding beautifully. At the other end, Lendl Simmons was playing some perfect cricketing strokes, and suddenly from 116, what a win for the West Indies. Even though with 12 runs to get, of the 6 overs, the Indian bowlers could not keep the West Indies quiet, and the West Indies rode on to a magnificent victory over India by beating India by winning by 7 wickets, and in fact entering the finals of the T20 World Cup for the second time in the history. And Lendl Simmons was not out on 82 of 51 balls with 7 4s and 5 6s. What a proud moment for Lendl Simmons, coming here, replacing Andre Fletcher, flying to India and getting his first match, and proving the theory of a blessing in disguise, as Lendl Simmons was the hero. He was the man of the match with an unbeaten 82 of 51 balls with 7 4s and 5 6s. A gem of an innings from Lendl Simmons. Andre Russell, who was promoted, did his job to perfection by slamming an unbeaten 43 of 20 balls with 3 4s and 4 6s, and this partnership yielded 77 runs. They actually looted 76 runs of the last 6 overs to win the match for the West Indies and take them on to the final. Well, the Indian bowling, Ashish Nehra was the best bowler, I thought, to no avail. 4 overs, 1 for 24. Bumrah went for 42 of his 4 with 1 wicket. Jadeja bowled 4 overs. He was costly, 48 runs. Ravichandran Ashwin, after bowling 2 overs for 20 runs, was never given a bowl. Hardik Pandya, 4 overs, none for 43, was costly. And Virat Kohli bowled 1.4 overs, no medium, 1 for 15. Lendl Simmons of West Indies was named man of the match. Congratulations to the West Indies. Commiserations to the host India for losing this. And well, I know it would have been a great disappointment to all the Indian fans there, especially when you are hosts of the tournament and you are pushed out of the tournament. That really pains, and one can understand that. But definitely, West Indies were far superior to India on this particular day, and they deserve to win today. And so that is as far as the second semi-finals are concerned. So India are out of the tournament. So as I said, now it would be a finals. T20 World Cup finals would be played between England and West Indies. And as you know, England were pummeled by Chris Gale's bat. And I know that England would be looking at a lot of videos of Chris Gale and would be really looking at how to stop this juggernaut. And if I'm not wrong, the venue was the same, Mumbai Wankhede Stadium, but luckily for England, this match is going to be played in front of a big crowd, Eden Gardens in Kolkata. That will be on a Sunday, so crowds will be really flocking in, even though India is not there. But what a match that is going to be. But West Indies are really, I would say, they are brimming with fire and confidence right now. Now, other than that, there's nothing else to really talk about, dear fans and subscribers. And that really ends up my cricket show for today. I hope you all liked it, and you will be seeing me tomorrow once again, talking about some topics on the T20 World Cup. As you know, there are no matches. We have 2 days of rest, and then the finals. So till such time, I see you, dear friends